Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and as I sometimes say, I haven't done a lot of recording in a while, and I'm getting close to running out of material that's online. So there's definitely, as always, lots of things I want to get into, lots of things I want to try, lots of things to update. We're getting in nearer the cycle where the next version of .NET is going to come out, and I've got my C# 10 presentation to update. I'm going to be giving that, actually I just realized, a lot in the next 3 or 4 months. And it's funny again because it's not finalized right now, and some things work and some things don't, but it's good to actually dive in and see what is there and what's not going to be there, which is kind of sad. And also just the whole updating of all the things and all the projects and getting them up to .NET 6, and yeah, fun times ahead. And on the personal side, things are going fine. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last one of my recent videos, but I now have upgraded to purple belt. I think I've said that before. But still doing the self-defense thing. I did a 42 plus mile, I'll explain what that is in a moment, bike ride yesterday for Tour de Tonka. And I am doing one this Saturday. I think it's called the Ironman Minnesota bike ride or something. It's not an Ironman event, although there is a 100-miler, but I'm only doing the 31. And that's right in my hometown of Shakopee here. So I'm going to, it's not going to be that long of a drive, and it's only 31 miles. So hopefully that will go well. Yesterday went well. There was a couple of hiccups. One was just weather related. It was storming out, lots of thunder, lots of lightning, lots of rain, which we need. We need the rain. But that didn't make for good conditions to start biking. And when I did it in 2019, it was canceled last year for COVID, and they did it again yesterday. When I did it in 2019, the weather was just perfect, like 70s and maybe got up to low 80s near the end, overcast skies, but never rain, like hardly any breeze at all. Just perfect. This, and I get there early because I want to get a parking spot in the lot just in case. I don't think they had as many people there as they've had in the past, but that's like a lot of things this year. I think anything that's a public event is, there's still some skittishness and things like that. But in any event, I get there and it's pouring out, it's lightning out. And then I get a message saying they're going to delay it by a month, or by a month. My word's bad right now, by an hour. And that was good because I think in 2018, if I remember right, they canceled it last moment because they had very severe weather. I think it was almost like tornado warning level. And they felt that was extremely unsafe, of course, so they had to cancel it. But I guess there was some very hard feelings from some people that signed up because there was no reimbursement or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, they said, let's give it an hour. I was watching the radar on my phone, and it looked like it was going to be moving off, at least the bad stuff. And that's what ended up happening. When we started, it was still raining, but it was very light rain. It wasn't that much. And then about halfway through, I think it just completely stopped. So I was still just dirty, soaked when I got off the bike. It was, I took a very long shower when I got home. The one thing, so that's just weather that happened. I'm glad they did that. They made the right decision, and it ended up being fine. The one thing that didn't end up being fine is somewhere around the halfway point, or I don't know where, but there was a point where they were supposed to tell the 42 milers to go one way, and the 62, 71, and 100 goes another way. And I think I went by it because down the road I saw a cop car, but there was no sign to say 42 go that way. At least I didn't see it. And for a second I was like, should I turn? And I should have trusted my gut. I should have turned there. But they have lots of volunteers that direct you and tell you where to go. And to me, that's where you were going to turn left across a road. So you'd think they'd have somebody there to monitor that and tell people, hey, 42 go that way. Because about 5 miles later, somewhere around there, I hit this one spot where this guy is there going, 62 that way, 71 and 100 this way. And I'm like, what about 42? And then I realized, yep, I definitely did the wrong way. I should have went that way. And just about that time too, my eye gets this thing called an oral migraine, where I get this like black and white crescent weird thing showing up. Look it up. It's kind of bizarre, and I get it occasionally. And it just so happened that's when it happened. I don't get a migraine from it, but what happens is it becomes pretty hard to see out of my eye, and it takes about 10 minutes for it to go away. And so I'm trying to look at my phone and trying to look up the actual route, because when I did that right before I got on the bike, Map My Fitness was taking forever. I couldn't actually load the route. And I'm like, well, I could just follow everybody. It'll be fine. It will be fine, they said. You won't get lost, they said. Just so much for that. Should have trusted my gut and at least gone down there, wrote the cop and say, hey, is that where 42 goes? The 42 route goes. So I'm trying to look up where the route actually is. I finally got my phone, and I'm trying to like look at it like certain ways so that I can actually see it. And I finally figure out, well, if I go down that, take these roads over, I should eventually hit the right trail and the right path and go from there. And I did. It was a little frustrating. I was kind of mad, to be honest, but it was a hiccup, and eventually got in the path. So I probably did almost 50 miles to, yesterday. So definitely very tired at the end, very sore, came home, and, when you burn over 3,000 calories, you feel like you can just eat anything. So, yeah, I've been replenishing, so to speak, but it's very much fun. I'm glad that I do those. And I've got that Ironman thing this coming Saturday. And then in September, I signed up for one more in St. Paul, and that's mostly trails, the paved trails, but they're trails. And so that's a 30-mile one. And then I think I will be done with doing it. So I'll be doing a total of 4 rides this year, like organized rides with hundreds of people. And I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to me. So with all that said, I want to get into some other stuff and some things that are just on the list. One of them is this BenchmarkMockNet, which this guy, Steve Desmond, has created. It was a way to basically say, okay, these mocking frameworks, how can we do some benchmarking on them? And so I just forked the repository. I put this issue out there and just saying, hey, let's upgrade to .NET 5. Then I can upgrade Rocks to the latest version, update some of the tests, and then we'll see how they work. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. So let's see here. I need to go to File. And this is the preview one. Let's not do preview. Not that there's anything wrong with preview, but, I was doing preview because, I've been doing some C# 10 stuff, which I probably could target. Well, no, not with the current 19. I don't think that's being updated for C# 10. I don't believe. So, so let's go to Project or Solution and go to BenchmarkMockNet. That one. Okay. And then we're going to do a branch that we based on the number 10. Get new branch 10 update to net 5. Checkout branch. Okay. And there we go. So let's see what we need to do here. Let's first compile. We should be able to build, and we should be in release mode because reasons. Then again, this is not my code, so I'm gonna, follow the standardization of whatever is defined here. I don't know if they have a editor config, but that's neither here nor there. What? Error list. Have I forgotten the error list combination? Apparently I have. Okay. Console/E. I thought it was something else. All right, so that's good. Okay, so PCL mock has this kind of odd behavior to it. So you wouldn't normally, there's something in the README that says with PCL mock, you have to do something different. Okay, so let's actually go in here and let's just flat out update it to .NET 5.0, okay? So we're not going to change any of the packages. We're just simply going to change that this is targeting 5.0. Okay. And now let's go into the program, and I'm not going to change it from being whatever this is. So we got all these switchers, fill, runner. Let's just see if it runs. And again, I'm not going to run all the benchmarks, at least not for this, because that would take an ungodly amount of time. So we're going to just see if this at least launches and does some stuff. And then we'll update benchmark, and then we're going to update rocks. And then we'll update the, yeah, I should write that down. You know, if you got a plan, write down your plan, right? Okay, are you doing anything? Okay, you are. Good. That was kind of, it took forever, and it was like, that shouldn't take, so we got to update it to .NET 5. Okay. Then we want to do BenchmarkMockNet upgrade. Got a little arrow going up. Then we're going to do rocks upgrade, and then we're going to do others upgrade. And we'll commit with each one in my local branch. Okay, so this is doing something that's good. We're going to stop. Okay, and so we'll say git commit number 10 updated to .NET 5 commit. And yeah, I noticed in the preview too that when you're in the message and you hit tab, it does not go to commit all. I'm like, how can you not do this? Okay. All right. So next thing we want to do is come into here, and we're going to say, let's manage NuGet packages. And we're going to say updates. Again, we're just going to pick benchmark.net. We're not going to do any of the other ones just yet. Okay. We're going to say update. I accept. Okay. Let's build. And we're just going to run it to see, did it actually get to the point where it's supposed to be doing something? Okay. And why this takes for as long as it does, I don't know. Well, while we're waiting, I have now done, oh, okay, I guess now it's warmed up, so it doesn't take as long, I guess. So, yeah, I'll stop it once it gets going. I've now done 3 in-person conferences, and as far as I know, I didn't get COVID, which is good. You know, again, I might have gotten it again for all I know, and because I've already built an immunity. But I've had the shots, all that stuff. You know, it may be just because either that resisted, I didn't get it, or I did get it again, and I have no symptoms, and nobody else in my family does either. So I don't know. The events, attendance has been smaller, which is not unexpected. Nebraska Code was about half. They were down to about 300. That conference was around 400 or 500. Cincy Deliver was about 300-ish, you know. So lower than what they usually have, but I think that's going to be the case for another year. The thing that bothers me is the fact that, you know, VS Live Orlando is going to be happening, but with how on fire Florida is, it's not so much that I'm worried about getting it. You know, there is still a bit of a concern, but it's that we could be in such a better position in the United States, and for some reason we had to politicize this, and we had to make it, you know, a political issue, and people just have to talk about how, you know, ridiculous statements about the virus, or with the virus, more to the point, the vaccination, and it's pissing me off. It really, really is. I'm very upset at people's choices and how selfish they really are. So, and I'll say that I'm very disappointed and very upset at people at not just thinking about themselves, but thinking about people, especially kids under 12, they can't get vaccinated. You know, it's very upsetting. So anyway, sorry. I could go on forever about it, and I really don't want to. Updated benchmark.net. Okay, so now that's off the list. Where did I put my pencil? Is this a pencil? Pencil. Remember you used to use this writing utensil called a pencil? All right, now the big one, rocks, because this is going to break stuff. This is definitely going to break stuff. And if it doesn't, I'll be very surprised. You really should. So I'm going to say build clean. Clean, and now we should say build, and this should definitely fail. Yeah, because you don't know what that is. That's actually surprising that you don't know what that is. Oh yeah, I think when you don't use your own framework, you forget about things like that. Okay, now here is where it's going to get. This is methods. Okay, and now we say do something. And that's it. That's all we do. Okay. Now, does he use space? Yeah, he does. Okay. So now we say instance. Oh. Well, what does rock create give you? An expectations of iThingy, I guess. Expectations of iThingy. And that should be that. There. It's just that simple. Okay, but we know more is going to fail because I think he's got these and all these. Yeah, there we go. There we go, construction. But now that we've done one, we should be able to do more, right? Rock make instance. Boom, that's done. Okay. What's next? Come on, give it to me. That is, what does make give you? Make generation of iThingy. And then down here we say chunk. Well, that's not fair. Wait a minute. I definitely, if I'm going to fall in line with everybody else, let's do this. And let's say instance. And then that should all work. Okay, so I've done, this is empty method only, verify only, construction. This is just constructing one. Rock make iThingy. Yeah, this is object. Yeah, because I'm going to follow what MLQ, what they're kind of doing there. So I think that's correct. And this is chunk, yeah. And then we did verify only. And so here it does object do something. Here we do instance do something. Okay. So we're being fair. Again, I want to try to be as fair as I'm supposed to be. Rock verify. Okay, what's next? That was control WE. I don't know why I was forgetting that. This is empty return only. And this should just be dot instance. Good. Callback. Yeah, so this is now going to be methods do something, callback, and in here we're taking a called equal true. And I think that's all this should be doing. Again, to be fair, rock instance, we do something, return called. This should be bool. This should be true because it was false, and then we said create, do something true. Okay. WE. What's this one? Callback only. Methods do something. Callback. All that. And then we say instance. And that should be everything there. Okay. That. WE. Return. What are we returning here? Come on. We create a methods one returns one. Okay, that's that. Hope God I didn't unspace something. instance 1. Okay, that does that. How many times have I said that does that? I'm just waiting for something to, you know, ruin everything for me and go, oh yeah, that's not what you meant to do. This says methods 1 returns 1 to all. I should, yeah, I got used to doing end on the keyboard. And then does that break something down here with rocks? No, it just calls that. Okay. Getting closer, but we want to say here instance. No, not instance. We want to say methods. Do something. That's it. Can I go control? No, that's not what I meant to do. Let's try to see if I can get this to control. I don't mean end of file. I mean like end of. Wait. Yeah, but that doesn't. There's got to be a way to do it in Visual Studio, and I'm just not being the smart instance. Okay. There's that one. 2 left. Try rock make instance. Chunk do nothing. 1 more. I don't know what this is supposed to do. Instance. Okay. Sure. Do we do everything? Do we do all this stuff? This is just for rocks. Okay. Let's just see if it runs. I'm not going to run it all of it, but let's just see if it runs. So let's say, yeah, that keystroke. I need to code more of coding, more things. Otherwise I start to get rusty and I forget stuff. All right. It seems to be off and running. Whether it's actually going to work or not is a different story, but let's say commit and stash. 10 updated for rocks. Commit that. So that takes this off the list. And now let's just update the other ones and see what kind of hellish world I'm going to be in. Okay, so we come back up here. We do this. We say that. We say manage your get packages. We see updates. We'll select all of them and we'll say update. Clean build. Build all the things. What did you fail on? You're going to fail on something. Oh, you didn't. Well, that's nice. Let's just run it real quick again. See if that fails. If it doesn't, I'll commit. And then I'm going to pause the video and actually run these and see, like, what do I get on my end? If it's like actually good or not. And then we'll come back and analyze the results. And that should give us a 30-minute video because I keep looking at my clock over there going, where are we hitted? What are we hitting in terms of time? And that would be a perfect time. That would just be a perfect episode. Just nail it, you know. I haven't golfed in so long. I haven't golfed in, I think since 2013 is the last time I actually swung a club. Okay, so that's, okay, so let's do git, commit stash, number 10 updated all packages to their latest releases. Commit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is actually run this and we'll see what it does. I'm going to pause the video because it's going to take quite a long time, I bet. And then once it comes back, I'll analyze the results and then I'll unpause the video and we will talk about what we see. So I will see you in just a little bit. All right, they're all done. You want to see the results? I bet you do. Now, to be clear, this again is just my own local run on my machine. Don't call them official, but just wanted to run it to see what happens, and it's pretty interesting. So construction, rocks is the fastest. I wish you would actually, that's one thing I should put in there, is that it'd be cool to do the memory diagnoser, I guess, in some ways, just to see if one consumes more memory than the other. But yeah, I'm not going to change that. So rocks is the fastest. And again, the stub is like if you handcrafted yourself and you didn't do anything else other than just calling that. I guess that's like the baseline of what he's trying to do. The callback, rocks again is the fastest. If you look at the ratios, it's like an order of magnitude faster than PCL mock. Empty method, it's almost as fast as a stub. Return, it's 3 times faster than anything else. Empty return, really fast. Verify is the fastest. Callback only is the fastest. Empty method only, it's almost as fast as a stub, which doesn't surprise me because I think in this case it's doing exactly what the stub would do. It's like there's no difference. And empty return only, this is funny, it's actually faster than the stub. I thought that was kind of interesting. Return only, it's the fastest. And verify only, it's the fastest. Nothing is beating it. And that doesn't mean it's the best framework. It doesn't mean I'm doing something right. It doesn't mean that the other frameworks are bad. I just find this interesting, especially now that none of this is calculated at runtime. All this is source generated, compile time stuff. So any of the other frameworks like Fake It Easy, MLQ, and Substitute, they could also, because I think PCL mock, if I remember right, you have to do some handcrafted stuff, but I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not familiar with that framework at all. But what's really interesting is, the other frameworks could easily change your stuff so that they are also source generated. And I bet their numbers would go drastically down as well. So, and I think I think MOQ is actually their 5.0 version, which is not available just yet because it didn't show up as like the latest non-beta version. So, or a pre-release version, but I think they have a 5 that's in the works to be source generated. I could be wrong. So I'm going to commit this, then do the PR and let Steve handle what he wants to do with it. But this has been fun. And, there is this slight part of me that goes, yes, we are faster. You're paying a cost though, in that at some point the source generator has to do some stuff to actually generate source, but then, when you run it, it's just fine. So anyway, nice fun end to the episode. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.